So good morning, students. So welcome to our virtual class for Ethics 6374, Business Ethics with Social Responsibility. Particularly, we are already on the week. Good morning. We are already in week 13. And before anything else, do well and good luck on your final exams next week. Okay? So our topic is employee responsibilities and rights. So before we begin, let me just let us identify the objectives. So at the end of this session, you will be able to, number one, identify what are the rights of the employees. And number two, describe some ethical dilemmas in the workplace. So our topics, of course, we will be discussing PD 442, Presidential Decree 442, or the Labor Code of the Philippines, particularly on employee rights. And then ethical issues in the workplace, so for employees and for employers. So number one, first and foremost, the number one right of employee is equal work opportunities for all. Article 3 states that the state or the Philippine government shall protect labor, promote full employment, provide equal work opportunity regardless of gender, race, or creed, and regulate relations between employees and employers. Ano bang pagkakaintindi nyo? That everyone shall have equal work opportunity regardless of gender. Ano ibig sabihin nito? So in terms of gender, ibig sabihin, lalaki, babae, bakla, tomboy.
O tomboy.
Oo, yun, lahat na yan. Kasi may gender equality na tayo.
Wala pong discrimination, sir.
Ano na?
Opo. Wala pong discrimination po.
Correct. Walang discrimination, lahat may equal opportunity. Sa race, ano yung race?
Opo.
Ano yung race na tinatawag? Yung race, ibig sabihin, Amerikano ka man, taga Middle East ka man, Indian ka man, Pilipino ka man, it doesn't matter. As long as you are in the Philippines, there is no discrimination as race. So, kasi isama na natin yung race. Alam mo, sa Pilipinas, medyo, taga Maynila kami. Ay, taga Bisaya kami, matatapang kami. Ay, taga Mindanao kami, lalo na kami matatapang. I mean, meron tayo kasing gano'n, di ba? So, dapat, walang discrimination. Kahit taga Maynila ka man, Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao. Eh, ano naman yung creed? Sinabing creed, ito yung religion. Kung mapa-Katoliko ka man, mapa-Muslim ka man, Iglesia ni Cristo ka man, ano ba yun? Christian, Baptist, whatever. So, in terms of employment, ang sabi nito, the state shall protect labor. Labor, itong manggagawa. Promote full employment. Remember, dapat walang mababa ang unemployment rate ng Pilipinas. So, in order to do full employment, we have to provide equal work opportunity regardless of gender, race, or creed. And regulate relations between employees and employer. Okay? Ito unang-unang right ng employee, equal work opportunities for all. I hope you are writing notes. Number 2, security of tenure. Ano ba ang pagkakaintindi nyo ng security of tenure? Anybody? Pag sinabing security of tenure, every employee shall be assured security of tenure. Ibig sabihin, kapag nagtrabaho ka, dapat sigurado kang matagal yung iyong employment na hindi bukas pwede ka nang tanggalin. Next week, pwede ka nang tanggalin. Dapat may security of tenure. Sabi nga rito, Article 279, no employee can be dismissed from work except for a just or authorized cause and only after due process. So, eto, let us be particular in this. Kapag naging empleyado ka sa Pilipinas, 3 months, 6 months probationary. So, kailangan pakabait ka ron. I mean, pakitang gilas ka. Kasi after 6 months, you will be considered as regular. So, when you become a regular, sigurado na yung iyong security of tenure. Hindi ka na basta-basta mateterminate, madidismiss without a just or authorized cause. And kailangan kahit na merong just or authorized cause, dapat dumaan pa rin sa due process. So, ano sinasabi dito? Kailan ka lang pwede ma-dismiss o ma-terminate? An employer may terminate an employment for any of the following causes. Number 1, serious misconduct or willful disobedience by the employee of the lawful orders of his employer or representative in connection with his work. Alam mo, hindi basta-basta, ito kailangan yung bina-violate ng empleyado na order ay lawful order. Sabihin natin, kunyari, sabi siya ng boss mo, oy, bili ka nga ng pansit dun sa kanto. Pag hindi ka ba sumunod, mataterminate ka. Hindi siya lawful order. Dahil dapat in connection with your work. For example, sabihin sa'yo, paki-deadline nga nito on Friday, hindi ka sumunod. So, sa madaling salita, hindi ka nag-submit ng kung ano may submit mo during the deadline. So, pwede yung serious misconduct or willful disobedience. Gross and habitual neglect by the employee of his duties. So kapag nagtrabaho tayo, sinasabi sa atin ano bang mga duties mo, ano bang mga responsibilidad. So itong gagawin mo araw-araw. So kapag nagne-neglect ka, yung negligence kasi, yung kailangan habitual, kailangan gross, mabigat, at palagi na lang. Ang isang example dito ay, ano bang isang duty ng isang empleyado? Pumasok araw-araw, pumasok on time. Kung palagi kang absent, palagi ka nalilate. Palagi. So, habitual. So, kapag ganon, pwede ka nang i-terminate. Fraud or willful breach by the employee of the trust reposed in him by his employer or duly authorized representative. Perhaps narinig nyo yung trust and confidence, loss of trust and confidence. So, kapag ikaw ay may inatahan ka ng responsibilidad, merong trust yung employer mo. But if you breach that trust, ayun, yun ang mahirap. Kasi madali sabihin ng employer, loss of trust and confidence. Mahirap din ang patunayan yon, mahirap mo rin i-defend. Okay? Commission of a crime or offense by the employee against the person of his employer or any immediate member of his family or his duly authorized representative. Kunyari, ano bang crime ang pwede mong magawa? Kunyari, nanira ka ng isa sa mga boss mo, sa may-ari, doon sa kanyang mga relatives. So, medyo basta illegal, hindi maganda. Siniraan mo, dinefame mo, kung ano-ano pisas mo, libel na yon. So, hindi tama. Yung sabi nga, do not bite the hand that feeds you. Sino yung employer, sino yung papasweldo sa iyo sa pang-araw-araw mong buhay, wag mo silang suwagin. And other causes analogous to the foregoing. So, number 1 natin, equal work opportunities, and number 2, security of tenure. Number 3, work days and work hours. Ano ba ang right nyo? Ito ang right nyo. So, normal hours of work of any employee shall not exceed 8 hours a day. So, kailangan 8 hours. Kung shifting man ito, pwedeng 8 to 5, 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 to 10, gano'n kung may shifting. But it shall not exceed 8 hours a day. So, ito yung sasama natin, 8 to 5. Yan ang regular office hours, 8 to 5. But kung titignan nyo, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 9 hours. Kasi, number 2, tingnan nyo, it shall be the duty of every employer to give his employees not less than 60 minutes or 1 hour time off for the regular meals. Ibig sabihin, 8 to 12, that is 4 hours. Yung 12 to 1 mo, meal time. So balik ka uli ng 1 to 5. So 8 to 12, 4 hours. 1 to 5 is another 4 hours. That makes it 8 hours with regular meals. Yan ang inyong right. Ngayon, kunyari pinag-overtime ka ng gabi. O umpisa muna natin doon sa number 4. Work may be performed beyond 8 hours a day provided that the employee is paid for the overtime work. An additional compensation equivalent to his regular wage plus at least 25% thereof. Ano yung sabihin nito? Kunyari, 8 to 5. Pinag-overtime ka ng 2 hours. So, naging 7 ka umuwi. So, bayad ka ng 8 hours, pero yung 5 to 7 mo is already an overtime. So, babayaran ka nun ng 1.25 nung hourly rate. O for example na lang, 800 per day. So, mas madaling computin. Ibig sabihin per hour, how much? Kung 800 divided by 8 hours, edi 100 per hour. So, kunyari, nagtrabaho ka ng 5 to 7, 2 hours overtime, so babayaran ka ng magkakano? 1.25 times your hourly rate. So, babayaran ka ng 125 times 2 hours, 250. So, aside from your regular rate, daily rate na 800, meron kang overtime na 250. Ang kaso, umabot na hanggang alas 12 ng madaling araw. So, sabi rito, number 3, every employee shall be paid a night shift differential of not less than 10% of his regular wage for each hour of work performed between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. O, paano to kukumpitin? Ang overtime mo ngayon, 5 to 12. So, 5. So, ibig sabihin, from 5 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 hours, ang rate mo nun ay 1.25 of your hourly rate. Ibig sabihin, 125 times 5 hours. So, yung from 10 to 12 is 10, 11, 12, 2 hours. Ibig sabihin, may dagdag pa yung 10%. So, yung 125% mo, so yung 125, may 10% pa. So, ang 10% of 125 is 1250. Diba? So, 125 plus 1250, computin nyo na lang yun. Yun ang magiging hourly rate nyo ng 10 to 11, 11 to 12. So, guaranteed na ang work days, 8 hours a day. Of course, right din ng empleyado ang magkaroon ng weekly day, rest day. Hindi naman pwedeng 8 hours a day. Walang day off, di ba? Kung yung mga kasambahay, sabi ng gobyerno, magkaroon ng day off. So, it shall be the duty of every employer, whether operating for profit or not, to provide each of his employees a rest period of not less than 24 consecutive hours after every 6 consecutive normal work days. So, kung start ng workday natin ay Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, kailangan Sunday, day off. Meron namang iba, kunyari, nagwo-work ka sa mall, ang mall, Saturday, Sunday, meron yan. Ang duty dyan ay, kumbaga, ang day off niyan ay weekday. Normally, Tuesday or Wednesday. Yan yung medyo konti lang ang nag-shopping. So, pwedeng yun ang iyong weekday. Pero guaranteed na meron kang 1 day a week or 24 hours for each 6 consecutive normal work days. So, where an employee is made or permitted to work on his scheduled rest day, so, kailangan, magpapasko, kailangan ng or may nag-absent, rest day mo, pinabalik ka, please work. He shall be paid additional compensation of at least 30%. So again, kung hourly rate natin ay 100, so yung sweldo mo ng rest day mo ay 130 per hour. Kung nag-render ka ng 8 hours, so imbis na 100 times 8, 130 times 8. So work performed on any special holiday. Kung holiday naman, it shall be paid an additional compensation of at least 30%. So nataon yung regular duty mo, dineclare na holiday, special holiday. So, meron kang 30% additional wage. Paano kung yung holiday coincides with your scheduled rest day? Scheduled rest day, pinag-overtime ka, di ba? So, you shall be entitled additional compensation of at least 50% of his regular rate. Okay. So, that is right number 4. So, rights of employees, wage and wage-related benefits. Pag sinabi natin wage is the amount paid to an employee in exchange for the service that they rendered to their employer. Rather. Wage may be fixed for a given period. Anong sabihin ng wage may be fixed for a given period? Pwede itong quincenas, so 15.30 or every 10.25 of the month, or pwede rin weekly. So pwede rin yung weekly. The minimum wage rates for agricultural and non-agricultural employees and workers in each and every region of the country shall be those prescribed by the regional tripartite wages and productivity boards. The government assigns the wage research study and yung identification, ano ba ang minimum wage, ano ba ang minimum wage per region, ito, regional tripartite wages and productivity boards. So, iba-iba ang daily minimum wage. So let's see, unang-una sa NCR. Ito ang may pinakamalaki kasi andito ang capital, di ba? National Capital Region. Nandito halos lahat ng mga commercial and business offices. So ang daily minimum wage, so MWR minimum wage rate is 500 per day. Daily minimum wage. Sa CAR, 340. Sa Region 1, 282. Region 2, 345, 370. So you can look for whatever region you belong. So yan ang inyong minimum daily wage rate. So hindi lang ito basta kinuha sa kung saan-saan. Ito yung pinag-aralan din naman ng Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Boards ng National Wages and Productivity Commission under the Department of Labor and Employment. So, hindi po, ibig sabihin dito, kapag nasa NCR ka, hindi ka pwedeng bigyan ng mas mababa pa sa 500 per day. So, ito ang right mo. You have the right to receive the minimum wage stated in the National Wage and Productivity Commission daily minimum wage. Okay, let's proceed. So, payment of wages. Ayan. O sige, meron kang ganitong 500 per day. Kailan mo matatanggap? Paano mo matatanggap? Di ba sabi, every 2 weeks or twice a month. Pero no employer shall pay the wages of an employee by means of promissory note. Hindi pwede promissory, employee. Pwede ba promissory note? Next month na lang kita bayaran. Voucher. O yung mga bibigyan na lang kita in return for your services. Bigyan kita ng voucher ng mga produkto natin. Hindi pwedeng gano'n. Mga coupons, tokens, tickets, or any other object other than legal tender. Pag sinabi natin legal tender, ito yung currency na tinatanggap. So ito yung pera na pwede natin gamitin naman. So even when expressly requested by the employee, so kahit sabihin mo, ano po, pwede po ba bigas na lang yung i-show nyo sa akin? Hindi pwede yun. Kasi sabi ng batas, Presidential Decree 442, Article 102, kailangan ang payment mo ay legal tender. And wages shall be paid at least once every 2 weeks or twice a month at intervals not exceeding 16 days. So every 15 days, yun ang sinasabi. Yung sinasabi kong every week, yun ay kung, kunyari, yung mga nakikita nyo ngayon, yung build, yung mga construction workers, they are paid every week. Siguro, meron ding yung mga supervisors, they are paid on a semi-monthly, but for the rest, weekly. Wages should be paid directly to the employee in cash, legal tender, or through bank. Ibig sabihin nito, ibibigay sa iyo ng pera or via sa ATM or via sa GCash. So yun ang mga modes of payment according to PD 442 Article 105. So apat na lang. Female employees. Of course, if you are a female, you also have the right as an employee, being female. So women are prohibited from engaging in night work unless the work is allowed by the following rules. So bawal mag-work ng panggabi other than if you are working in an industrial setting or industrial environment. So from 10 to 6 a.m. So pwede ka lang kung yun ang shift mo, night shift. Commercial non-industrial undertakings from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. or agricultural undertakings at night provided that she has had 9 consecutive hours of rest. So, in every rule, there is an exemption. So, ito lang yung mong tatlong exemptions. But, generally speaking, hindi po pwede ang babae sa gabi. Welfare facilities. Kailangan din merong facilities provided for female employees. Una-una na, separate dressing room and lavatories. So, syempre, dapat iba yung banyo ng babae sa lalaki. Kung magpapalit ng damit, dapat meron din dressing room. Hindi naman pwedeng sama-sama. So, ito dapat ay nasa workplace. And every employer shall grant to any pregnant woman employee maternity leave. O sabi sa batas, at least 2 weeks prior to the expected date of delivery and another 4 weeks after normal delivery or abortion with full pay based on her regular wage or average weekly wage. Number 8. So garantisado rin ang rights ng children in terms of employment. Sabi dito, PD 422, Article 139, no child below 15 years of age shall be employed, except when he works directly under the sole responsibility of his parents or guardian, and his employment does not in any way interfere with his schooling. So, consonant with the law on anti-violence against children and women and children, kailangan walang child labor. Ito yung total na child labor. So, lower than 15 years, hindi pwede. Pero kung kahit na 15 years of age, hindi ka pa rin pwedeng mag-employ sa ibang kumpanya other than with your parents or guardian. So, kunyari, meron kayong family business o doon ka, nagkakahero ka, walang problema yon. But, ito na naman, as long as it does not in any way interfere with schooling. So, studies pa rin ang priority. Okay? The minimum age of employment is 18 years for hazardous jobs and 15 years for non-hazardous jobs. No employer shall discriminate against any person in respect of terms and conditions of employment on account of his age. Di ba kanina yung number 1 right natin? Regardless of gender, age, kasamang age, race and creed. So hindi lang yung tatlo yung kasama ang age. Hindi porket bata ka, baguhan ka, ay nadi-discriminate. So walang discrimination dapat sa work. Siyempre, nagkaroon ka ng trabaho, binabayaran ka twice a month. Pero kailangan din, right ng employee na magkaroon ng safe working condition. Employers must provide workers with every kind of on-the-job protection against injury, sickness, or death through safe and helpful working conditions. So for the detailed discussion, you can read Occupational Safety and Health Standards. Simply po, kailangan kung nasa lalabas ka, construction worker, nagtatrabaho ka sa build program, sa building, or kahit man lang sa karsada, kailangan meron kang protective helmet, meron kang protective na damit, kailangan yung iyong sapatos ay yung safety shoes, yung merong matigas na metal sa bandang harapan, para kahit mabagsakan ka man ng mga tools, hindi masakit. So, hindi lang ito sa labas. Kunyari nasa loob ka ng opisina, kailangan din, remember, yung ating upuan, kailangan ergonomic chair, So para yung ating posture na may maintain at healthy environment, dapat well ventilated, well lighted. So kung malabo ang ilaw, paano ka makakapagtrabaho? Lalabo ang mata mo. Eh kung namang walang ventilation, ang init sa factory, edi pawis-pawis ka niyan, edi napulmonya ka pa, natuyuan ng pawis. So kailangan merong safe working condition at isang right niya ng employee. And last but not the least is the right to self-organization and collective bargaining. Sa malalaking kumpanya, ito yung merong union, may union. So, yung mga union of workers, it could be union of labor, yung mga laborer, union of supervisors and managers. So, as long as you are an employee, you have the right to self-organization. PD 442, Article 243 says that every worker has the right to self-organization, to form or to join any legitimate workers' union free from interference of your employer or the government. All workers may join a union for the purpose of collective bargaining and is eligible for union membership on the very first day of their employment. Ano ba yung collective bargaining? Ito, collective bargaining is a process between two parties. Sino ba yon? Yung employer at yung union. The union is your representative, where the terms and conditions of employment are fixed and agreed upon. In collective bargaining, the two parties also decide upon a method for resolving grievances. Collective bargaining results in contract called a collective bargaining agreement. Ito yung dito sa collective bargaining agreement, dito pinag-uusapan. Kunyari, yung minimum wage, every year of service, merong increment or may increase ang iyong salary ng let's say 5 to 10%. So kahit mag-start ka dyan ng minimum wage, after 5 years, hindi ka na minimum wage. Kasi loyalty na rin yung service mo, nire-reward dan yan. Kung walang union, kung walang workers union, mahihirapan kayo. So ano pa dyan? Kunyari, retirement, yung mga benefits na para sa empleyado. So lahat yan nasa collective bargaining agreement. Yung union ang representative ng workers. Okay, let us proceed with the ethical issues in the workplace. Doon na tayo sa workplace. Ethical predicaments in the workplace are common and they are not always easy to resolve. Even when companies have great rules and procedures and obey the laws and regulations, there is still a high risk of unethical behavior. For instance, some employees may not know the resources exist to help in decision making. They may not know who to turn to with questions. Anytime a company is not fully supporting people, they are increasing the possibility of high-risk behavior. So basically, sabi lang dito, kailangan there should be resources that exist to help in decision making. Kunyari, nasa factory ka, nasa floor, nasira ang makina, kailangan meron kang resource para mag-ask na help, ano ba ang gagawin? So dapat may SOP yan, meron kang supervisor na pwedeng pagtanungan. Yan. Yun lang ibig sabihin nun. Kailangan bago ka magtrabaho, you're already oriented on what the duties and responsibilities, kung ano-ano ba ang do's and don'ts. Kaya remember, kapag orientation, pinapaliwanag yung mission and vision of the company, yung goals, etc. Some companies falter with ethics because in many cases, there are mixed messages like inconsistent enforcement of policies or a tendency to overlook boundaries or even directly unethical behavior. In other cases, the ethical issues companies face are even harder because there is not a wrong answer. The toughest ethical dilemmas in the workplace occur when two or more competing alternatives are present, each having its own set of ethical values, the choice of which always offers a less than ideal solution. Okay, let us be specific. Okay, sabi kasi dito, each individual has his own special moral imperatives and personal ethics which urge him to act in a specifically unique manner. Sabi nga natin, lumaki tayo sa iba't ibang environment. So, it hones our values, our ethics. So kung hindi tayo naturuan ng magandang ethics, di problema yon. A problem arises when there is a conflict between two different opinions. So an ethical dilemma might happen either within the person or between two or more people. So kahit ikaw sa sarili mo, tama ba itong gagawin ko or mali? Or meron kang gustong gawin, yung isa salungat sa gusto mong gawin, sino ba mas tama sa inyo? A workplace is considered a breeding ground for ethical dilemmas between individuals since they all come from dissimilar socioeconomic backgrounds and have different beliefs. There are many different cases of ethical dilemmas that happen to an employer and an employee. So we begin by ethical issues on employees. Kunyari tayo ay empleyado. Some organizations provide a refund for the telephone bills of the employees. So meron tayong communication allowance, yung tawag dyan, or internet allowance, cell phone allowance, especially if the employee is dealing with a job that involves using the telephone. Now, taking advantage of the fact and making personal phone calls is unethical. Bakit unethical? Kasi hindi naman work-related. So, i-separate natin yung personal natin sa professional or work-related. Kaya ka binigyan ng allowance ng phone bills mo ay para, kunyari, magtawag ka ng mga kliyente, mag-follow up ka sa mga customers or suppliers only for that purpose. So other than that, it becomes unethical. So pag nag-work kayo, huwag niyong gagawin yan. Ito, next. Some employees pocket tools and stationery such as staplers, pin, paper, etc. to use them at home. So yung kapatid mo, kailangan ng bond paper. Kuha ka nung kalahati ng issue sa'yo. Pati stapler, lahat na. Tapos gumagamit kayo ng mga tools, yung mga, kunyari, martilyo, screwdriver, pati yun. Dinedekwat nyo, inuwi sa bahay. This would have probably gone undetected by the cameras, but definitely does not say much about their behavior. So hindi ka man makita ng CCTV, it defines you. So kumbaga yung character mo, yung personality mo, pinapakita mo sa iba. So, wag natin gawin yon, ha? Yan. Taking excessive leaves. Kasi di ba meron tayong benefit na sick leave, vacation leave. Pero kung ginagawa mo na excessive, beyond allowed number, it is already a breach of ethical code. Kanina sabi ko, di ba? Gross or habitual neglect of duty. So, ito yon, taking excessive leaves beyond the allowed number is a breach of ethical code. It only leads to losses for the company but also brings you a bad name. Bakit loss? Imbis na mapakinabangan ka ng kumpanya, binabayaran ka dahil nakalive ka, hindi ka productive. So kung hindi ka nagpo-produce, lost yun sa company. So these are some of the examples. So some employees make use of office computer and printers for personal uses, such as taking lengthy printouts, heavy downloading, and even unnecessary net surfing. So, pag nasa opisina, Facebook ng Facebook, Google ng Google, birthday ng kapatid mo, mag-print ka ng invitation card, kunyari, working student ka, piprint mo yung report mo. I mean, hindi ka man mahuli, this is unethical. So personal work needs to be kept personal. Download ka ng download, ayan, huwag gagawin yun. So because when you were newly hired, pipirma ka ng kontrata, yung terms and conditions, kailangan sundin mo yon. Especially, it is usually done as part of joining procedure. Violating any of these rules may lead to undesirable issues between the company and employee. Dito na yung violations niya, sabing breach of contract. Yan. Failing to maintain the privacy policy of the company is another sort of breaking of rules. Meron tayong mga confidentiality clause. Each company has its own private policy. An employee is entitled not to give out the company's data and other particulars to another company or competitor. O kunyari, magkaibigan kayo, doon kasi kabilang kumpanya, pareho ng inyong nature of business. So sabihin, magkano ba sales nyo? Magkano ba quota nyo? Magkano target? O magkano ang incentive nyo. Ay, sa amin, ganito, ganyan. Nagkakaroon ng comparison at hindi. Nilalagay mo yung kumpanya sa kahihiyan. Okay, ethical issues of employers. Employer naman. An issue is when the employer favors a particular person with regard to promotion and bonuses and evidently neglects other eligible employees. Favoritism is considered highly unethical on the part of the employer. Etong unang-una, merong playing favorites. Meron kang pareho lang kayo nag-start ng pareho kayo napasok, sabay kayo. Samantala siya nakakadalawang promote na. Samantalang siya mas malaki yung basic na salary na binigay, although pareho kayong bago. So hindi pwede yun kasi unethical. Dapat may standardized plantilla, standardized salary rate according to position or according to rank. Bawal ang favoritism. Sexual harassment is not legal, nor ethical, nor moral, whether in the workplace or out of it. So, bawal mag-harass. Harassing an employee sexually or refraining from taking action against those who are involved in such offense is strictly forbidden. Kahit na hindi ikaw yung nakaharas, nakita mo, wala kang ginawa, kasama ka pa rin. Kasi you're an accomplice to the crime. So let us avoid this. So kung yung ma-experience naman itong harassment or sexual harassment, ipaalam agad sa HR department. In some cases, for reasons like budget management, companies opt for mass firing to reduce the number of employees. Sasabihin lang, meron tayong retrenchment, sorry, hindi kumikita ang kumpanya. Such termination should be done after prior indications and notice of at least a month or two so that the person can find another job. Notice periods must be served to avoid confusion. So kung meron kayong CBA or yung collective bargaining agreement, hindi basta-basta makapag-retrench ang management. So kung ma-retrenchment kayo, you will receive a fair compensation, separation fee, retrenchment fee, etc. So, yun. Hindi pwedeng basta katulad to COVID, mag-retrench na tayo na mag-retrench. So, pero kung talaga hindi may iwasan, magbabankrupt na, yun, that's the time they can do retrenchment. Pero kung nakikita nyo naman kumikita, it is unethical for a business to retrench employees. Unnecessary delay in paying employees provident fund and gratuity after leaving the organization is a breach of professional ethics. Unang-una, di ba sabi, dapat bayaran kayo on a timely basis, twice a month. Kaya kunyari, nag-retire ka na, nag-resign ka na, na-terminate ka, or whatever, kailangan babayaran ka rin ng provident fund and gratuity after leaving the organization. So, meron kang separation pay, yan. Yung provident fund naman, kailangan, ito yung SSS, Pag-ibig, kailangan binabayaran niya ng employer. Dapat there is no delay. Morality and values-based issues in the workplace are hard to handle when employees have to choose between what is right and what is wrong based on their own principles. Forward-thinking business owners who enforce workplace ethics policies are usually prepared for the possible conflicts of interest that come up due to the diversity of opinion, values, and culture in the workplace. But it is important to keep in mind that dealing with ethical issues in the workplace requires a steady and cautious approach to issues which can possibly be dangerous or illegal. Yan. So kailangan merong sa kumpanya, meron yung mga code of conduct for employees. So andyan yung mga do's and don'ts, yung mga bawal, at yung karampatan niyang penalty. So meron diyang unang for minor offenses, pwedeng oral reprimand, pwedeng written reprimand, so may memo ka matatanggap, or pwedeng 1-day suspension, pwedeng 5-day suspension, pwedeng 30 days, or pwede ka nang i-terminate, depende on the gravity of your violation. Okay? So let us have some review. Can anybody name one of the rights of employees?
Equal work opportunities po.
Correct, that's number 1. Ano pa?
Security of tenure.
Very good, security of tenure. Ano pa? Give me 3 more.
Work days and work hours.
Correct. What about the work days? Ilan dapat na ano? Ilan dapat na hours per day?
8
Hours per day.
8 hours per day.
And ilang consecutive days lang pwedeng magtrabaho ang tao? Ilang days? Okay, maximum of 6 days.
8 per week.
What else?
Weekly rest day.
Correct. Kailangan may day off. How many hours?
Not less than 54 hours po.
Yes. Hindi lang basta-basta 24 hours. Tanong, pwede mo sabihin sa'yo ng employer mo, oh, pwede ka mag-day off ngayon 4 hours. Sa susunod na lang, tomorrow mo na lang 4 hours. Mag-report ka na sa duty. Pwede ba yon? 4 hours, 4 hours? I mean, 12 hours, 12 hours? Sabi sa batas,
Hindi po.
24 consecutive hours rest day. Ethical issues of employees. Bigyan nga kayo ng sample, ethical issue ng empleyado. Ano ang mga unethical na ginagawa ng empleyado sa workplace? Based on our discussion.
Making personal phone calls.
Correct. Phone calls or using of personal, yung equipment para sa personal agenda. And example of an ethical issue of employers, dapat walang favoritism. Dapat iwasan ang sexual harassment. So that ends our virtual lecture for today.